Okay, so hello everybody, welcome to our Intro to APIs workshop. Um, in this workshop, well, first let's talk about our upcoming events. We're gonna start a new machine learning series. Next week, we're gonna have the Intro to Python on the 5th. And then we're also gonna have Getting Started with Machine Learning on the 12th of March. And then we're also going to have a decision tree classification on the 26th. So make sure to mark these on your calendar so y'all can attend. Also, make sure to keep up with our Discord. There we always post, we have a lot of channels on there. So like whatever you like for hobbies or whatever, we have them there. We also have a lot of career advice, interview prep stuff on there. Or if y'all just want to make new friends, it's a super active Discord, so definitely join. So what we will be learning in this workshop, it's going to be a simple workshop, so don't expect like to build a full application using whatever API or using the Stripe API. So it's just an introduction. So basically, you will just learn the importance of APIs for modern software applications. You will learn to navigate resources for additional APIs to add to projects. You will also learn how to implement the Stripe API in a simple Express application. It's really simple. I'll be using JavaScript for it, and if y'all aren't familiar with JavaScript, don't worry, I will explain the code. And then I also have a Git repo for it, so y'all don't have to do it from scratch. So let's get started. And y'all can stop me anytime if y'all have any questions, just put them in the chat or unmute yourself. So for starters, what is an API? I know when I first started in computer science and I wanted to make my own side projects and stuff like that, I didn't know what an API was. I would always hear, oh, just use an API or work off of an API. I didn't know what that was. I didn't even understand what it was. So what an API stands for is an application programming interface. That's just the acronym. And basically what it is, it's something that allows two applications to talk to each other. So like a good example to use is, for example, like when you're processing a payment, let's say you're on, I don't know, Amazon or whatever, and you want to pay with PayPal. You're using like the PayPal API to give money to Amazon, and you buy whatever you bought. I don't know, a book or something from Amazon. So it's basically that's what it is. So it's just something that connects two applications together. That's the basic understanding. So why is it so important? So APIs can be a service for developers. So every time developers write a new program, they don't have to start from scratch to build a core application that tries to do everything. So APIs are super important when it comes to developing, because as you all know, developing something from scratch is not something easy, especially if it's a big project. It's definitely not simple at all, because there's a lot of bugs, there's a lot of security stuff going on. Let's say you are not fully aware how what you're using, if you're not what's it called, a pro at whatever you're using. It might take a long time to build it, and there's a lot of concerns when building a more complicated application. So APIs are used to fill, to fill in those gaps, right? Like for example, let's say you're trying to make an online boutique, and you already have all your items there that you want to display. Let's say, I don't know, you're selling shoes and shirts and jeans on there, but now it's time for customers to buy your items. So you're probably thinking, oh, let me just build something that takes in the card information, or I don't know, PayPal stuff, Apple Pay, all that jazz. And when first implementing it, you're going to realize that there's a lot of security concerns. You're not dealing with simple information. You're dealing with credit card information, and that credit card information has more information behind it that can potentially put the person at risk, the person who's buying that. So in order, and you can build something to fix that, right? But it's going to take a lot of time, and there's still going to be issues with it. So something you can use is you can use an API to take care of that for you, so you don't have to build it up from scratch. So for example, in this certain example, we could use Stripe API to help you with those transactions, and you don't have to build it from scratch. You don't have to worry about that stuff. So that's basically why it's important. Now, next slide. Oh, what the heck? So how does an API work? This is a really simple demonstration or picture of how an API might work. It's the best one I could find, since it's really hard to find a good little map to it. So basically how it happens, you're on your web app or on your phone or on an application, whatever you're doing, you send a request to the internet, and that it goes through an API, and it does some stuff because we don't know what it's doing, and then it sends a response back. And that's basically all it does, right? It just when you connect your own application to an API, you don't really know how it works, but you just know the response that it's going to give you, and it's going to get the job done. That's all you know, right? Because obviously you didn't build that application, right? You're just connecting it. So let me read this. APIs do the same for all interactions between applications, data, and devices. They allow the transmission of data from system to system, creating connectivity. APIs provide a standard way of accessing any application data or device, whether it's accessing cloud applications like Stripe or shopping from your mobile phone. So this is the best roadmap or flowchart I could find for that. Does anybody have any questions at this point? No? Okay. I think the next one is for this, for the next slide, I'm gonna start the project, right? Or the small application that we're gonna do for today. So all you will need is Node.js, which I believe was already linked in the chat. It's a super fast installation. It shouldn't take more than 2 minutes to do. And then you will also need Git. If y'all don't have Git, it's fine. I'm gonna start the application as if you don't have Git, just in case y'all don't have it. If you can't clone the repo, you will also need VS Code or whatever other what's it called? I forgot the name, the word for it.
Editor.
Editor, yes, whatever other editor that you want to use. If you want to use Sublime, if you want to use Atom, whatever y'all want to use, feel free. I'm going to use VS Code for this though. And also you need to create a Stripe account, so just make sure that you have that. The Stripe account is also linked there. Yeah, you can also use Notepad. I'm kidding. I don't even know if you can do it on Notepad. Can you? Let me see. Oh, thank you, Ceci. You posted the Node.js. So for this, I'm gonna start from my terminal. I don't know how comfortable y'all are using your terminal, but I'm gonna do everything here. So, let me see. So if y'all want to clone the repo and y'all don't want to start from scratch, that's fine. Here is the repo link, or you can just go do git clone and then, where is it? Y'all can just put git clone and clone this project. However, if you don't have Git, this is for you. Okay, cool. So we're gonna start by just building out the folder that you want your application to be in. So to create a folder, can y'all see my terminal well, or is it too little? Let me know.
It's kind of small, but
it's a little small.
Yeah.
Make the font a little bit bigger, maybe.
Yes, let me try that. Is that better? Cool.
Looks good.
Cool, cool. Let me know if anything's too small. I can't tell because my screen is big. So you first want to start by creating your project folder. So I don't know, Stripe, API, app. And then you want to go into that folder so you don't accidentally mess up anything else on your system. So that's basically what I'm doing here. And then in order to start your project, you can do npm. If this command doesn't work, that means either your node isn't up to date, but if you just installed it right now, you shouldn't have any issues. So npm init y, and you're just starting your project here. You just added a package JSON file, which is really important for this. And then also, yes, thank you, Raul. And then another command that you're going to want to do is npm I express, because we're going to use express for this. EJS body parser. I'm going to put this command on there just in case. And this is just to like start your project like completely. And you don't have to do this if you already cloned the repo, because it's already on there. Cool. And then after you do that, you should have these three. You should have the node modules folder, the package.json, and then the package.json. Let me know if you don't have one of these folders or files. Okay, and then after this, you can just open this on your editor. This is a previous one. You can do code dot if you have VS Code. If not, you can just open it on whatever editor you're using. Oh, what the? Okay, I don't know why that sometimes happens to me. Hold on. No, you don't have to do that if you cloned it. Yeah, the terminal things that I'm doing right now, you don't have to do if you already, if you cloned it. I'm just doing it for those that don't have Git. Okay. Okay, so now that we're here, you're gonna wanna change something on your package block. Yeah, on your package log JSON. No, sorry, on your package JSON. So here it says test, and if y'all cloned it, it doesn't say this. It's already fixed, so y'all don't have to worry about this. So instead of test, you're gonna wanna put start, and here you're gonna wanna change it to node index.js. Is that better? I don't want it to be too small.
Yes.
Cool. Okay. So that's all you have to do on this part. And then you're going to want to create a index.js file. And then and then here, if you don't have Git, since you couldn't clone it, right? On GitHub, You don't have to have Git, right? You can just copy and paste whatever is on the index.js, what's it called? File on here. Make this taller. Okay, so on this part, you have this, right? So basically what this is just like the to require express, like your express stuff, right? And then now this is for this is for the Stripe stuff. So your publishable key and your secret key. Always make sure to hide these keys. Let's say you do create a project separately from this, or you want to put this on your GitHub as well. Make sure to never put out your keys publicly, because that can be like a potential like security breach for you. So always make sure that either they're blurred out and what are in, let's say you create documentation for something, or you take a screenshot and you want to put it publicly, always make sure to blur it out. Yes, so a key is the unique identifier to that account that you're in. So for example, here, if you put a key, you're basically connecting this application to the API that you're using, which in this case, it's Stripe, right? So let's say you accidentally use my key, or not accidentally, but whatever. Let's say you use my key. You're going to be using my account. So you can definitely put, yes. You can definitely put, you can cause me to have, I don't know, like a business breach. So let's say you're using my key and you replace it with, and you can access like personal information from my Stripe account using different things. Stephanie, can you explain it better? I know you're a little bit better at explaining this, sorry.
Yeah, so API keys are this code that's associated with the service that you're trying to use. And so in this case, Stripe will recognize that you're using this specific key to your developer account. And so these are used to kind of assist the service. So like Stripe, if you're using something else like Google Maps or I don't know, Venmo, they're used to track and control like how you're using their API. And then they use this to get feedback that the company will use this to get feedback, and then also kind of like keep track of your usage. And then also you can use these for your businesses or whatever it is. So it's really important that you keep your API keys private, because if you're using it for like a business or some type of venture, and privacy is important to not only yourself and your business, but like your users. It's important that you keep these private and not public, because anyone can interfere with like your application or with your business, which is important.
Yes, thank you, Steph. Okay, so now that we have that, when you're using an API, you're usually gonna have to be doing a lot of requests. So requests can be you're either getting information from the API, for example, you can, let me think of a good example. Okay, for example, a to-do list, right? Let's take that for example. In a to-do list, you can retrieve your to-do items, so, right? You can, this is what I have to do for today. I'm gonna have to do this, this, and that. Or you can post, which means you can create new items, right? And so let me add to the list and add new to-do items to the to-do list. You can also delete, you can update, right? Delete, update. Yes. Yeah, those are the 5. You can get, post, update, delete, all that stuff. So here we're just going to be using, first we're getting right the home screen, and then we're just going to process a simple payment. And that's why we have the post here. Here we're creating a customer. Here you can just change it to whatever you want, right? You can, I don't know, you can change the name, you can change the address, we can put 123 random. This doesn't really matter. You're just creating a customer. Here's how much we're gonna charge. And then and it's going to send us, oh, it's exceeded, the payment went through, or it didn't went through. And here it's just listening for the port. So this just means it's making sure that that it's running, right? And if it's not, we won't get this message. We'll get an error message, right? Okay. So for the publishable key, you can find that on your Stripe account, right here. Don't copy mine, do yours, right? So you can see it. So when you're on your dashboard, let me put this here. If you can't find your dashboard, let me put it on the chat. You can access your dashboard from there if you already have a Stripe account. On your home screen, you can find your keys. I already have a secret key here. If you don't, I believe it says create. Yes, don't copy my keys. I don't really care about this account, so even if y'all copy it, it doesn't really matter to me. So what's it called? Oops. On your secret key, you might have like a create a secret key or new secret key or something like that. You can just click that to retrieve your secret key. So here you can just copy it, and then you just have to paste it on here. So paste. And also your secret key, you just paste them there as well. And you can just click save. Let me know if y'all are having a hard time finding your keys.
Yeah, for most APIs, you'll have a publishable and a secret key. And so the publishable one will be to process any information on the client side. And then the secret one will be to handle any backend stuff. And so for this case, the secret key will be to send requests to Stripe's API. And then the publishable one will be to kind of tokenize the payment processing for your clients.
Yes, thank you, Steph. Okay, and then for this next part, oops, you don't need to do it if you already cloned it, but it's in the views folder. You're gonna have to create a new folder. So on VS Code, you can just add a folder here, and then on here, you're just gonna put index.ejs. Sorry, home.ejs. You can name it whatever you want, but if you do change the name, you're gonna have to change it, where is it? Here as well. But for now, I'm just gonna have it as home.ejs. And here it's just basic HTML in order so you can see, right? So you can see and process the information on the user side. And this is the endpoint that we're gonna be using to check out to process a payment. For now, let me just review like what we've gone through. If you don't have GitHub, most of the instructions are there. They're really like simple instructions, so you don't have to worry about having a lot of things installed. All you need is Node.js and an editor. And if you have a computer, you'll most likely have a terminal on there. So all you had to do is process a few things on the terminal, which is 2 commands, right? Which is npm init, and then the npm I express, EJS, all that stuff on there. And then after that, you have to create, you have to change a line on the code, you have to change this part to say this, right? And then after that, we just create, you can just copy paste whatever file, whatever is in the index.js files, and also on the home.ejs. You can just copy paste whatever is on there. So yeah, those are the only steps right now that we, oh, and also you're gonna have to retrieve your publishable key and the secret key and paste them here. Okay, so after this, we're basically already done. So sorry for the long process. So this is just the endpoint. Every single API will always have an endpoint depending on what you want to do. So for example, this one is just to pay, right? But there's different APIs that will have different endpoints. For example, I don't know, the Spotify API might have something to retrieve songs or playlists or users or albums from a certain artist. So basically what an endpoint is something like a URL that allows you to make requests from. So you can either like post, like I mentioned before, like the GET request, like create, post, delete, update, all that stuff. So after this, if you want to run it, all you have to do is npm start. And if it ran successfully, all you're going to see is server was created successfully. And then you can go to localhost. Pay with card. And if y'all don't have, you don't have to use your own card. This is on test mode. Oops. This is on test mode. So you can put whatever email, so sample@gmail.com. And for the card number, you have to use 424242. That's like a dummy one. So you can just put 42 until it doesn't allow you to. And then here you can just put random numbers. And you pay. Oh. Cool. And that's it. So it went through. And then now if you go back to your Stripe account, you can see that sample person paid $70. And also a new customer was created. A new customer was created, and this is their info. Their billing details are right here. Their email that they entered, the visa that they used, when it expires, and all that stuff. So there we go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we can process payments. And of course, if y'all want to take like a deeper dive into this, a lot of APIs have what's it called, documentation. So oops, where is it? There we go. So if we go to their stripe.dev site, you can definitely read the documentation, or you can see more samples that aren't just payments, right? That may have different things. You can always look for, let's say you want to explore more of an API. Like for example, if you really like this API and it's a simple app, right? But there's so much more that you can do with this. You can just go to your developer docs, and they have a lot of instructions or a lot of developer tools that you can use to research, right, how they work. And if you really want to do something with them, definitely there's a lot of like good things on here that you can read on. Let's say you're not interested in Stripe, you want to do something else. You can always like look it up on Google, right? Like good APIs for music, or good APIs for generating random words. Whatever you're trying to do, like there's definitely an API for it. So you don't have to, and there's probably most likely documentation for it, because I don't think anybody would build an API without documentation. So you can definitely just keep looking at the Stripe developer docs. I'm sure you'll find a lot of interesting things here. Or you can also look at their samples. A lot of APIs also have a lot of sample applications. So you can definitely test them out from there. You can fork them and then try them out yourself as well. Thank you so much for coming. We are going to have a lot of workshops in the next few weeks, so definitely come back. Really excited to learn about machine learning and all that jazz. So thank you so much for being here.